I'm Allan Glen. Thanks for joining me for Scotpop. If you've just discovered this podcast, you're probably thinking, who is this, what is this, and why is it coming out now? I'll answer the second one first, and then we'll come to the other parts later. First of all, I think it's fair to say that Scotland's always punched above its weight in innovation and culture. Perhaps nowhere more so than music. The aim of this podcast is simply to celebrate that. The past, the present, and the future of Scottish music. As for me, I've written about Scottish music for the past 30 years, and I'm also the author of Stuart Adamson in a Big Country, the critically acclaimed biography of the Skids and Big Country legend. I also believe this is the perfect time to launch the podcast because music in Scotland's perhaps never been so vibrant. From the Beta Band to the Bluebells, Big Country, the Skids, Rosillos, Malcolm Ross, Paul Haig, all of these artists that many of us would have fallen in love with the first time round are all back again. So I'll be speaking to some of them to find out what it's like to have a second bite of the pop cherry. I think it's also significant in the past few weeks alone, 3 books have been published that celebrate Scottish music from the 70s right up to the present day. The first one is Grant McPhee's excellent Caledonia Screaming. The second one is Scott Rowley's Stay Alive, The Life and Death of Stuart Adamson. The last one is Douglas McIntyre's A Leap into the Void, which looks at the trials and tribulations of running a record label, this time Creepin' Bent. I'll be hoping to speak to 1 or 2 of the authors and have them on the show to discuss their books. As if that wasn't enough, there's also Steve Mason's Failure is Always an Option, the story of them, the Beta Band frontman. As I mentioned at the start of this introduction, this podcast is about the past, the present and future of Scottish music. So I'll be talking to emerging acts to find out their stories and what they think about the current state of Scottish music. So yeah, I'm really excited about this podcast and I hope after this introductory episode you are too. Episode 1 drops on April the 2nd, which is Thursday, and it features a great interview from Ian Rankin, and it's only part 1. Ian talks about the Skids, Big Country, Stuart Adamson, the Ramones, Jackie Leaving, life, death, and even his own band, the Dancing Pigs, that he turned into global superstars, on page at least. I look forward to sharing it with you, and I hope you'll subscribe and never miss an episode. Cheers.